Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. Today is more of a vlog than a how-to maintenance video. Something I've been wanting to do for quite some time on my 2011 Jeep Wrangler JKU, and that is to get a tuner or some sort of device to update the stock settings on the calibrations, to get maybe some better fuel mileage and reset or change the settings for the TPMS so I don't get all the annoying alarms when I run a lower tire pressure than what the factory says I should be using. So I bought a Superchips Flashpaq F5. I'll leave a link in the video description, and I'm going to use that to do the tuning, and I'm going to show you how I go through that, and then I'll come back later and tell you if the performance has changed at all, if I had any issues, or how everything's going. Now I still have a check engine light for oxygen sensors, and that's because the PCM is actually dying, and that is resulting in me getting the oxygen sensor codes. I've got videos on how I've figured that out, and I'll leave a link for those if you're interested. But what that means is I will have to return my Jeep to stock before I actually replace the PCM. It'll be a little while before I do that. I got to save up for that bad boy. If you want to help me out, you can hit the super thanks button and get me further along the way for that. But speaking of going back to stock, you can find these Superchips tuners on eBay or other places, get them used. However, you have to make sure that the seller has returned their vehicle to stock before they send you the device. If they haven't, their old vehicle information will still be on the tuner, and the tuner will not let you program another vehicle since it's locked to that other VIN. So either make sure you're buying one that the seller is confident that they've returned their vehicle to stock, buy a brand new one, or commit to being ready to spend another $110 or so for an update from Superchips to actually unlock the device. And maybe that's cheaper in the end, depending on what you're trying to buy. Buy it off eBay and then commit to spending that extra money to be able to unlock it afterwards. But for now, let's go ahead and jump into it and walk with me as I set up some basic tuning for this thing, a couple of calibrations, and get it ready to go and try it out. So the first thing you're going to need to do, obviously, is have your keys with you. Be ready to turn the vehicle on and off. The device will tell you what you need to do, if it needs to be turned off, if it needs to be turned on to run, so the accessories are on, but the engine not actually running, or to actually start the engine. So we'll follow those instructions, but it all starts off with first, inside your home, connect the device to the computer to update it so it has the latest firmware, the latest files for all vehicles. Then come out to your vehicle, or Jeep in this case, and plug it into the OBD port, and that will provide it power and allow us to get started. Okay, to get started, I'm going to go ahead and plug it into the OBD2 port, which is on the right above your left foot when you're driving, and it will power up the Superchips and get us ready to go. Now I can choose from a couple of different things. I can tune the vehicle, I can scan, I can get some info, and that's about it. So what I want to do is tune, so we'll go into that menu, and very first thing, turn the ignition on. Mine's already on, so I'll hit OK, and now it's talking to the Jeep. Now I can do tune or quick options. Just show you quick options real quick. Tell us what our options are. Let's see, and I can do change the engine idle timing, and then all these options from tire size, gear ratio, some stuff with the transfer case, and let's see, scroll down. So yeah, our lamp delays, our headlights and things, if the horn's going to chirp, fog lights, daytime running lights, TPMS on or off, TPMS warning threshold. So that's what I'm going to be updating, is the TPMS threshold and the tire size, but I'll do that later. I want to go ahead and tune it first. And then just looking at service options, you can do a factory reset of the computers, and we're not going to do that today. So let's jump into the tune. And now we're going to do tune vehicle. And I don't know if you heard it or not, but the warning tones are going off. You can't really see, maybe you can, but all the lights are going kind of crazy here, and it is reading stock file is what it says. It's going to take a little while here at the rate that it's going, but it's basically, I think it's downloading all the files from the computer to be able to reset it to stock later. So we'll let this go and then come back to it once it gets to 100% complete.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so the tones are going off. I got hot oil bouncing here. All the gears are selected, so bit of a hot mess right now, but that's okay. I have faith in the process. So we select our tuning, and performance 93, performance 91, towing 87 octane, mileage, excess, save, or crawling. And I'm looking for gas mileage for what I do. I run 89 octane. I don't do anything special with it. So I'm going to go with just the 87 octane, the basic performance. And you can read the instructions with what came with this. Performance 93, 91, you need to run that level of gas. You can read more definition of what these things are in the instruction manual, but I'm going to go with the 87 octane. It's designed for 87 octane or higher fuel. Towing is not recommended. That's fine. I need to remember, if I'm going to be towing, though, I need to change the tune on this to maybe the towing version of this. So press OK. Do you want to customize options? Let's go with yes. I want to change my tire size. So I hit continue on the previous one. I thought that would take me to the next page to see if there are other options. There are not. So I'm going to run with the default tire size. That's fine. So basically just doing the default 87 octane tune. And then I can go in later and change tire size. So we'll just do this, install the 87 octane file. We'll hit yes. Lights are blinking. And now it's downloading and installing program files, and we'll let this go until it completes. Okay, it's resetting the vehicle. Turn ignition off and then press OK. So ignition is off. Press OK. Turn ignition on. Do not start engine. Press OK. So it adjusted the speedometer. It cleared the trouble codes. And the file's installed. Press OK to continue. And that's it. So now I'm going to go in and set the TPMS level. So we'll do tune, quick options, vehicle settings, TPMS warning threshold. It tells you it's adjust the low pressure setting. Press OK. And then this will turn on the warning lamp if it gets below that pressure. Don't drive if you're under inflated tires. And right now it's set to 28 psi. And that's actually what I want, I think. But I'm going to set it one lower just to make the change. So now I'll set it at 27. Because I run it around 28 to 30. So, 26 actually. That's probably pretty good. That way I don't have to worry about it getting too low in the winter just because it's cold out. So we'll do 26. Press OK to save. Programmed it. Boom. Done. And that's it. Okay, and the last thing I want to do is I want to change my tire size. Stock, I guess, is 31. I went out and measured, set a level on top of my tire and I measured to the ground. They're supposedly they're 32s, but they're actually measure to 31.5. So I'm going to set it to that. I don't really think it's going to make that much of a difference with miles per gallon or speedometer settings or anything like that. Obviously, this is, if I was running 40s, it would make a big difference, different gear ratios, all that. But 31.5 it is. Hit OK to save. It's adjusting. Made the adjustment, turned the ignition off, hit OK. Turn the ignition on. Press OK. Clearing trouble codes. Tire size is modified. And, that is about it on what I want to do. And so I unplugged the Superchips from the OBD port. Before I get out and call it a day, I do want to make sure it actually starts. So let's check that out. Starts, no problem. I do have that check engine light. And I can use the Superchips to actually read the trouble code. Let's see if it'll let me do it while the engine's running. And I'll go over to scan, read the trouble codes, and it tells me I can cycle through them. And I've got P0051, 31, 57, 37, and then 184, lost count with radio. That's fine because I don't have the stock radio installed. So, yep, it's the trouble codes that I'm used to. Those are all because of the PCM need to be replaced. But Jeep's running fine, no new trouble codes. So we'll call this good, and we'll unplug the reader, turn off the Jeep, go take it for a drive for a while, and then report back to you guys. Well, it has been a couple of weeks since I did the Superchips update to the computer of the Jeep, and the Jeep has been running fine. I've had no issues with it. It took the update. It hasn't given me any engine codes or anything like that. So as far as doing the Superchips update to it and the tuning and the parameter changes, the calibration changes, no problems at all. Follow those instructions. They'll work great for you and you won't have any problems. At least that's my experience. As far as the tune itself, so I did that fuel economy update to the computer, and I haven't really seen any performance difference. It's I get about 13.2 miles per gallon on the last fill up that I did. I average about 12 to 13 miles per gallon for quite a long time now, so really no difference. Mostly it's stop and go driving around the city. Highway driving, I get maybe 14 or 15 miles per gallon. Still obviously not the most fuel efficient vehicle, but so I don't know if the tune really did anything to help performance or engine health or anything like that, but it didn't do any damage, and the vehicle's running just fine. So hopefully the video is useful, helpful, give you some ideas on how to go about using it to upgrade your vehicle. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. And until the next video, y'all take care and have a good one.